Minority Report.
Well, badminton will showcase itself to Auckland and also to the world in Auckland because we've got a pretty big tournament coming up in the next few days or so. It's classified as a World Federation Grand Prix event. It's the New Zealand Open, and it will be hosted at the North Shore Event Centre from the 15th to the 19th of April. A number of big names, I am told, will be here to play some badminton. Well, joining us on the program is the Chief Executive of Badminton New Zealand, Joe Hitchcock. G'day, Joe. Appreciate your time.
No problems. It's great to be on.
Is this the biggest tournament we have ever staged here?
Oh, it's certainly shaping up to be that way. You know, we're really excited with the level and quality of interest that we've had, and just the opportunity to showcase this type of badminton to the New Zealand public, and I guess a little piece of Auckland out to the global audience as well. Absolutely.
So to be classified as a Grand Prix tournament under the auspices of the Badminton World Federation, how big a deal is that?
Well, it fits inside the Badminton World Federation event structure, and I guess they've got a multi-layered sort of approach to their events and to their tournaments. They're very similar to a number of other codes. So, you know, it's certainly not the absolute top level, a super series as they're called, but it's certainly a significant draw card for international badminton players, and the amount of prize money that we have on offer and the quality of field that we've been able to attract sort of relates to that.
So how many countries will be represented?
So looking at the moment, we have 240 players entered from over 16 countries. A fantastic entry from Malaysia, 40 of their top players coming into Auckland, 27 from Indonesia, and a real spread right across Asia, a couple of European players, and obviously a strong contingent from Australia and New Zealand.
So 240 players. I mean, that's a lot of badminton, isn't it?
It is. It's one of those fantastic things, and it's not all over in a weekend. We've got a real week of world class, high level badminton entertainment from the 15th to the 19th. So it's going to be great.
And so it's on Auckland's North Shore. How can people get along and have a look and get tickets for this thing, Joe?
The best way is to jump online and go to www.nzbadmintonopen.com. You'll find all the information around how to get to the North Shore Event Centre. Play kicks off from the 15th and runs through to Saturday the 19th. It's a fantastic opportunity for families, especially if you're staying within the Auckland region or visiting the Auckland region through that Easter period. And you can purchase tickets direct online from there.
So New Zealanders here can also chase down some ranking points, and qualifying for the Glasgow Com Games and also the World Champs in Denmark is part of this thing as well, Joe. So is it fair to suggest here this is a very important tournament for some of our leading players?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only is it a chance for our top players to play in front of their home crowd, nearly all of our players top players are now based in Europe or in Asia, so it's a special opportunity for them to play in front of their family and friends. But I guess, obviously, Com Games and Glasgow is right on the horizon, and this is a key event for them as we stage through and work towards that qualification. We've just had some fantastic news and raising up through the world rankings and shifting into sixth place in the Commonwealth and moving ahead of Canada and Australia. So really looking at this event to be the icing on the cake and with some good performances.
And I understand also, Joe, a number of younger players are looking to try and qualify for this thing, maybe 14, 15, 16-year-olds, to gain some experience. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty unique opportunity for some of our younger players. You know, we've got some amazing emerging talent coming through our associations, and those players as young as 15 and 16 have the opportunity to really mix it with world-class badminton players who are professional, full-time badminton players. So to have that opportunity and that experience again in their own backyard in Auckland is really important for them. It's also really critical for us as a sport that we provide that opportunity, and they get to see the excitement and to see world class badminton at the highest level.
And Sky Sport is going to broadcast this live on Saturday, the 19th of April, between 1 and 5 o'clock. And I also understand, Joe, quite a few other countries will be taking this coverage.
Correct. I mean, I think although it's great to be on the Minority Report, and I guess badminton is in that place in New Zealand. I mean, globally, it's just a massive game. I think it's got a unique reach into both Asia and Europe. We've had huge interest in broadcasting that event and that tournament right through Asia, and secured basically live coverage into Asia, southern China, Malaysia, the Philippines, Thailand. More than 15 million households. So it's a great opportunity for our partners, it's a great opportunity for our players, and it's great to connect at that global level.
Yeah, I guess in New Zealand it is considered a minority sport, Joe. We can't get away from that, but it's fair to touch on the fact that this thing is big, isn't it, particularly in Asia? Yeah,
absolutely. And, I guess it's a cultural thing. It's an inbuilt passion and love for the game, in much the same way that we hold rugby in that same stance. You can often go over to Asia and you'll see kids, adults playing in the streets. It's definitely a way of life.
Joe Hitchcock is the Chief Executive of Badminton New Zealand. This is our Minority Report on a Thursday. Hey, Joe, often the perception seems to be around badminton in New Zealand, a lot of expat Asian players will come here and just play the game and become very good at it. Do we still have a lot of, I guess, naturalised New Zealanders involved in the game and looking to become representative players? Is it going well? Is it a strong sport?
Oh, I think, we're really lucky that New Zealand's such an amazing place to live. So, we get a range of people wanting to, come and I guess share some of their badminton experience and expertise in New Zealand, and that's often what we've tapped into, and we see a lot of conversion, not only Asian players and coaches, but also people from Europe who come over and will be involved in the badminton community in some way, and then find a way to stay on and become true Kiwis. So, I mean, it's a great badminton community. It's a big family, and they really add some different components to that. We're really lucky at the moment. We have some funding through the New Zealand Olympic Committee through an Olympic Solidarity project, where we've got a former top coach from the Netherlands touring New Zealand and providing some expertise for our younger players as well. So we're really trying to build the game from both ends.
And one final question about the national team, Joe. It was put to us a few years ago, a name that would stick, the Blackhawks. But what happened to it? It just disappeared.
I think it's part of urban legend now. It is. And I guess it's the question that you always dread being asked or answering, and I think that it has a lot of potential. But what we need to always remember and focus on is our players, the rackets in hand, and it's an interesting one for consideration, that's for sure.
It always gets a laugh and a chuckle, Joe, and it was very popular at the time, I know, when we took Talkback. Plus, you guys made, I think, the top 10 list of some obscure American website as funny names in world sport. So it registered in the States.
Well, it has huge potential, and just we have some concerns around the logo concept.
You'd have to be very creative. Hey, look, Joe, thanks very much for joining the Minority Report. Hope the tournament goes really well for you next week.
Wonderful. Thanks. I really appreciate the time.
There you go. Joe Hitchcock, the Chief Executive of Badminton New Zealand.